So today I'm going to react to a very interesting public comment that a member of the public came out and gave at the December 17th board meeting. This, I guess, is going to be part of a series that I'm doing where I react and give my hot takes about things that happen at the school board, with the hope that there will be more conversations about things that are going on at the school board, things that are going on in education in our county, because conversations about education in the county can only lead to better student outcomes. And that's a positive thing that we all want. So let's listen to what this man has to say. This guy's name is Don. He is a regular feature at these school board meetings. Often says insightful and interesting things. All right, let's do it.
Good evening, Don Pearson, Palm Beach Central, 44 years, and I'm going to talk about testing because it's relevant right now. The first thing I want to talk about is I now am teaching geometry and EOC, and the district gives us a test. It's on Performance Matters, but there's something wrong with that because the kids can still get out of the program and look stuff up, and that.
So what he's saying is this is an online test and kids can minimize the program, look up the answers to the test online, and cheat. That's what he's saying. That should be really easy to prevent. Just get a program that you can't exit out of, or even go back to the old-fashioned way of testing with Scantrons. That should definitely be a priority for the district because enabling cheating is very negative, for many reasons.
Does not bear well for someone that's trying to learn the best they can. So I
does not
found
bear well, Don.
An article just today. It's from the College Board and the University of California. Just want to read it real quick. The University of California, San Diego, determined that 12% of its students did not meet the middle school level of proficiency in math. And among this group, 42% of them took pre-calculus and calculus in high school. Furthermore, 25% of those had a 4.0 all the way through high school.
Do you hear that? People who can't meet middle school standards are getting 4.0s in high school. What Don is saying is that basically these grades are totally worthless. And I saw an article recently that said employers are switching to competency tests because they just can't trust grades because they are not reflective of the actual skills of the students. Terrible.
It's bad enough that with these measures that students and their parents are not even aware of how accurate or inaccurate the information about their education and their level of knowledge is. You're misleading students if you give a test that they can easily cheat on. And, I work with finding them. All these are on there, but I want my students to be proficient in the discipline, and I explain that to them over and over again. But even the ones that do try to cheat, they get 50%, maybe 53%, 54%. And what makes it worse, and this is what I'm talking about, that the parents and we need to know, because I know the policies that you send down are well-intended to help, but you don't know sometimes when it hits the classroom what's really happening. And those test scores, we're going to get it Friday, what the curve that the county is going to put on them. And this is just last year's. 0 to 38% is an F, but 39% to 52% is a D, 53%, which is still an F, to 72% is a C. 73.
Did you hear that? Okay, I'm just going to repeat that for effect. If you get a 53% on this test, which is a little less than half the questions wrong, the curve makes it so that you get a C, the passing grade of a C. That's horrible. What an insult to the students who studied and worked hard to achieve well on this test. How demoralizing for them. And obviously, he's talked about how it's misleading the parents and the students about their proficiency in this subject, and that's not doing anyone any favors. Yeah, I'm really against curve grading in general. I think if everyone failed the test, everyone failed the test. But I'd like to hear what you think about it. Do you think curves have their place? Maybe if it was a smaller curve, because that was a curve of what, like 20 points? That's insane. What if it was like a 5-point curve? Maybe that would be something more acceptable.
3%, 81% a B. We can't do this to our students if we want them to be proficient. We've got to really educate them. Thank you.
Great comment from Don. Thanks for coming out and sharing that with the public. That's something super concerning. Everybody who cares at all about education should be concerned about, that the district is enabling cheating and enabling students to not be prepared for life, for a career. Think about how demoralizing it is to be somebody who spends their time studying for a test, and then to have Don as your teacher and look up to him and respect him, but obviously he's probably saying things that most teachers say, where he's saying cheaters never prosper, we have a zero tolerance policy for cheating and you'll get a 0 if you cheat. And then the student is looking around and seeing tons of people cheating, no one getting in trouble. And what I would be thinking to myself if I was that student is, is the teacher lying to me? Basically, it sows distrust in the teacher. My teacher is saying that cheaters never prosper, but the evidence I'm experiencing with my own eyes is not true, is not showing that to be true. All these other kids around me are cheating, and they're doing fine. And also they're getting to spend all the time that I'm spending studying out with their friends, having a good time. So I would be looking at that and thinking, well, if I'm not going to get in trouble, I want to go have fun. What else is this teacher lying to me about? Maybe this teacher's lying to me about the importance of being proficient in mathematics or literature. Maybe this teacher is lying to me about the importance of the pursuit of knowledge in general. All of that's really negative for our county. I'm sure that this problem is not unique to our county. This is a problem that is negative for society, our country as a whole, that should absolutely be aggressively addressed. Thank you.